Okay. I think the stream dropped. Not sure why. Maybe I pushed a button. I don't remember pushing a button. But something happened. And maybe it's streaming again? I don't know. We'll see. Do these experiments. Because I don't know how this works. Okay. Since I have no idea how much got missed. And it probably... And let's double check that these are not compiling. Why are you not compiling? Oh, because I was not actually done with this. Because I need, in addition to this, I need the offsets. Yeah, okay. Now that should compile. And it did, great. Okay, so now if we reinitialize, which we did, so you can see what happened here is the code changed, and so my memory was corrupted because it was a different format basically, and it had to reinitialize. Okay, so now I can walk around the world, and right now there's only one agent that belongs to me. Oh, why have you captured that? That's annoying. Okay. Only one agent that belongs to me, so I need to get a second agent so that I can actually do this test. And we're going to do that by spamming the dungeons until I find the upgrade. Oh, well, there's the guy in green there is an enemy agent who is also spamming a dungeon for the same thing I am. And she's probably better at it than I am. You know what? I may be a coward, but let's not do this with enemy agents. Just because that's going to make this more complicated chest. So what I'm looking for is, like, I know what the spawn patterns, the drops in the dungeons look like, and I'm looking for a specific drop. Oops. Problem is the dungeons are dangerous, and if I'm not paying attention, I get eaten. Now, why are you there? I turned you off. Okay, I think that's a bug. But that's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That, when I, oh, that's annoying. It's because I've been mucking with the client utilities. It's had to rebuild the Python bindings, which is slow. Not something you'd have to do during normal play, but in development mode. But I'm not actually using the Python bindings right now, so it does not matter. But it did it anyway because it's part of the build script. Fine. Oh, this isn't even gonna work. So the problem here is that there's the player has like movement controls over the agent, but right now no ability to trigger any other actions, and so the AI actually has to trigger all the actions other than just moving around. But my run script always chooses that one action, which does nothing. And what I need is I need to pick up this. Well, I'd like to pick up that bow. Not that it matters. What will happen when I find the thing I'm looking for? So I actually need to put this in. This is part of the code that I deleted earlier, which I knew I would have to rewrite. So what I need to do is I go... I don't remember how this works. I'm gonna find the action, and it's going to return a that. Or, even better, copy and paste. Okay. Right, and that's not the one I'm looking for, though. I'm looking for pickup. Okay. Don't need that either. Perfect. Okay. So what's happening here is I am searching through all of the available actions that the agent has using this little macro and looking for one of type pickup, which is just pick up an item on the ground, sort of like you'd expect. And then if I find it, I'm going to tell the game I want to take that action this turn. Otherwise, I do nothing. Since that action should always be available, I will always go through this branch. But what that means is now, if I just let the AI take a turn without me interfering with it, it will pick up the bow. Which is probably useless, but it is useful in real play. But right now, that's not the thing I'm looking for. I should probably have a debug console or something where I can just spawn stuff. That would be clever. When an AI is doing this on its own, this is relatively fast. But I am not as good at the game as the AI is, so... Mostly it can just see further. God damn it. It can see further than I can. Okay. We're gonna do there it is. Every time I visit the dungeon, if that wasn't obvious, every time I visit the dungeon it respawns, regenerates. Okay, so that blue orb was a population increase power-up that just means now I have 2 agents. And the other agent will automatically spawn at the starting point, which will be over here somewhere. And since they're not doing anything, they're just going to stand there getting mangled by that dragonfly. So this agent is just a dummy, right? It's just going to stand there forever. However, what I can do is we can go back here. I mean, it's not just a dummy. It's running the same program as the other agent. But that program doesn't do anything, right? So it's a dummy in that sense. Okay, so after I've done the merge, let's just go ahead and do a debug print of okay, it's going to be hard to look at, but it's it'll go with some data. So now, okay, so now we can see this is going to be hard to get this to tell me what I want to know. I can see all of the locations that I have visited, or not all locations, all the locations that I've seen that are passable. So this is basically like every floor tile on the map. So it's a chunk of data. Now this other guy who's just standing here, he has seen a much smaller section of the world, but if my code is working, it should be synchronized. So he should have the same output here as this one. So I can, how do I do this? There we go. So what I just did is I teleported, or I transported my control into this other agent. So now instead of this guy, which is the one I was controlling before, I am controlling this one. And so now when I print, I will see his output, which is all run together. That looks not just larger, but much larger. I think it's because I'm maybe missing one of these. Okay, slightly concerned about that. It's not really what I was expecting. Okay, that's not useful to look at anyway. Do a whatever. Just gonna promote that to be public for the time being, so this is easier to debug. I'm just gonna say how many locations have I seen, instead of printing them all. Okay. So he's gonna get nuked by that. There. Now he's gone. And so this person is actually seeing just whatever is visible right now. Right. So you see that like it's printing 2700. When I switch to this other character, it's also printing 2700. So they're synchronized. So they've got the same level map. That's awesome. Now I don't necessarily know that the level map is correct. I need to do some additional testing for that. But that's cool. That's cool. So now, assuming that the data in the maps are correct, and I'll have to figure out how to test that later, they have the same. And so the next thing to do will be to get them to explore the level, and see if when a new agent spawns in and meets an old agent, it can benefit from that agent's exploration. But I kind of need to eat lunch, so I'm going to stop, and maybe I'll write that up later, maybe try and stream again, we'll see. I don't think anyone is watching this, so this is mostly just a test to see if it worked, and except for dropping in the middle there for a second, and maybe having trouble with that, buffering or something, we'll see. Anyway, seems to have worked. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it again later.